Hi, I'm Alex Archbold, and I've been buying and selling antiques since I was 9 years old. From basements to scrapyards, I'll look just about anywhere I can to find lost antiques and collectibles. And sometimes I'll go big and buy everything. I never know what's going to happen or who I'm going to meet. This is our life, this is our adventure, and this is Curiosity Inc. Hey guys, and welcome back to part 3 of the estate clearout. Last episode I discovered that there was in fact an engine inside the police car and it wasn't sitting on the floor of the garage. I've decided to try and drive the car out of the snowbank, and if so, we'll get it washed up and ready for sale. Let's see how she turns out. Well, this is the car that I thought didn't even have an engine in it. Turns out it actually drives pretty nicely. Has a little bit of rust above the wheel there. It's not perfect, but it drove like a dream. I'll let that guy thaw out a little bit and I guess figure out where and when we're gonna sell it. But that's one more down. But now I've got to shuttle myself back to the house where I left my actual car and continue on with the packing today. But I am pretty pleased that this Crown Victoria drives like a dream. It started right up and it drove right out of that snow like nobody's business. So Ford so far is winning. With the car back at my house now, I've returned to the property because I got to start packing up boxes. What these folks need now, almost everything, I'd say like 70% of the stuff in this house is going to end up going to several families that are coming from Ukraine. They're going to be arriving in the next middle of this coming month. They have no furniture, no clothes, no dishes, no plates, no pots. So we're going to try and take care of a lot of that and try and at least supplement some of that for a few of the families. So when we go through the kitchen, the dishes will get reused. But there are some things like some household like toys and stuff like that, which they don't have kids that are that age, I'm told. Their kids are older. So some of that stuff is going to end up going probably just to a regular charity locally here. But I have my work cut out for me because in a few days, I'm going to have some helpers come and we're going to get my trailer loaded up and the truck loaded up. And we're going to do trip after trip after trip to this place to get stuff like the desk and the couches. They said they'll just actually put a blanket on the couch. So they are going to use the couches. That's good. I was worried they'd end up in the dump, but no, they're going to use them. The table and chairs that's here. So there's a lot of good stuff in this house that'll make its way. And actually the bed that was upstairs we were going to give to Hannah, Stephen's girlfriend, wasn't the right size for her mattress and box spring. So that's okay because that will end up getting donated as well. I am basically just going to continue packing around the house here today, getting the small stuff packed up so that we can get ready for the furniture move out in the next few days. So here I go, packing away. Kitchen supplies. I'm going to donate some movies. It's kind of a weird thing to think that this random assortment of movies that I'm giving these folks might be their teenage kids, first entrance into North American culture. I'm sure they've seen a lot of these movies and stuff already, but, getting settled in, this might be some family entertainment while they figure their lives out again. It's kind of a weird thought. Oh, except this. I don't think that I should even give that to new families immigrating to Canada. They, although Nickelback is Canadian, actually they're from Alberta. They're from Hanna, Alberta, not far from me. They're the band that people love to hate. I don't think I'm going to subject them to that, influence their music tastes. Honestly, guys, the last little bit I haven't really felt like filming, but because I've just been working, but I'll tell you what I've been doing. I've been going sort of closet by closet, getting clothes put away for charity, finding all the bits and pieces, like this magic bullet set, then finding the base for it so that can go together. getting the cupboards cleared out. And in my travels, I've also found like the original instructions for the dishwasher and the stove, which I'm leaving in the kitchen for when they sell this house. It's nice to have all the paperwork and accessories that go along with something. I did find some receipts for work that was done on some of the cars that I purchased, which is good. And I've been piling up some garbage in the kitchen, but more so, I've been piling up tons of clothing and things for charity, or I shouldn't say charity, for these folks from Ukraine. And, you know, just trying to find as many useful things around here as possible, getting all the paperwork and family mementos that were left behind in this house set aside to give back to the beneficiaries. But making some progress so that very soon, like the desk is emptied out now, that cupboard under the TV is emptied out of all its games and movies. So those items of furniture can get moved pretty quick. I do have to find a box for the electronics and stuff that are around here. But there is one room that I haven't gone through at all. Like at all. I've only just walked in here. I've not gone in the bathroom yet. That I'll tackle that down the road. But I haven't done anything really in this room here, other than kind of walked in the first time I looked through the house. And I'm sure there's going to be all kinds of good stuff in here. I mean, there's guitars, and I found the instruction manual and all the bits and pieces for that Fender. That's good. Didn't see a gig bag or case for it though, but that's all right. So up top we have, what is this thing? Actifry Vista, I guess, little fryer. There's a crock pot, all things that'll come in handy for folks who might need it. There's a little TV down there we can give them. Oh, right, the noodles. Some of this stuff's gonna be expired, so I can't donate expired stuff. Some of it probably doesn't go bad. Is that Spam? Hereford corned beef in a can. I didn't even know that they still made stuff in cans like this. I guess I don't shop down these aisles, but it says it's product of Brazil. Weird. When does it go? Oh, it's still good until 2025. I guess canning stuff, that stuff is actually still good. I have no idea what it tastes like, but it looks like there's some, oh, there's a nice motorcycle helmet in there. And some bags of beans and food and stuff. Okay, I'm going to get some sorting boxes and bins and start going through this room a little bit. Yeah, I've been filling up boxes with more clothes and some backpacks and things for donation. There's more food. There's cases of sealed craft dinner. Big bag of flour. Might actually still be good. I'm just going to come and show you in the closet. Every time I do a house clear out, there's always lots of alcohol. Don't ask me why. It's like I said in one episode before, it's like a reward for digging. It's like, if you've got this far, here's a bottle of booze. This is a sealed thing of whiskey. It hasn't been opened, so that's still going to be perfectly fine. So I guess I'm not much of a whiskey drinker, but I will bring that back with me today. Lots of boxes to go through, and I still have to tackle the whole basement too. I did also find this pair of really nice leather beaded, likely indigenous made mittens. And that's real fur, real leather, real nice beadwork. I bet those are very warm, great for our climate too. There's a few little surprises like that around the house. I'm just gonna have one more look. Okay, I gotta remember there's boxing gloves down there. Some of this exercise stuff my son was actually interested in. Filters probably for one of the cars. Brand new boxes of toothpaste up top here, unopened. It's a shame to see food kind of spoil and go bad. Mind you, like maybe like that meat from Brazil that doesn't expire for a decade. That's still good too. Some of the stuff is still in its expiration date, so I can actually donate that stuff, which is great. Some coveralls back here. And some workwear. Columbia sportswear jacket. safety vests and stuff. Looks like a safety disco ball, because you never know when you need a safety disco ball. I'll put that with the tuna. I was putting pots and stuff and pans in this box to get ready to give away, and I heard rattling, and look, I found extra keys for the Harley Davidson and for the Ford for the truck. So I'm pretty glad that I checked these before they went off, because it's nice to have an extra set of keys. I've switched vehicles. Look, there's a Jason. Oh, there's a Jason. There's a Melissa.
Hello.
And the reason why I switched vehicles is that we're going to try and do a dump run today. I filled the kitchen up full of garbage bags, and it's starting to get kind of cluttered in the house. Getting a roll-off dumpster was incredibly expensive. It would have been probably about $500 just for today's dump. And if we have a dump pass for our local dump, so it won't cost us anything if we do it ourselves, except gas and time and all that. But luckily I've got helpers, aka family members, here with me. But we've only got a few hours before the dump closes, so we have to hustle our butts and get down there. But that's the plan right now. Load up some trash and get it off to the dump. Well, I don't know if you guys can see where I am. I'm in the ditch by a freeway. They're doing a lot of construction around here, and we hit a big bump. The trailer came off the hitch, and luckily we had the safety chains on, but let me tell you, scary experience. So I'm trying to get the trailer hitched back up again. Not the adventure I was hoping for right now. Well, it's the first time for everything. That's the first time that's happened. My hands are all red because it's freezing cold outside, and I was handling chain, but yeah, never hit a bump and had it fall off the ball before. I'm sure some of you watching might have had that experience. Luckily, I had the safety chains on, albeit one of them snapped, but I got it to a controlled stop in the median, and was back up and running in what, like 5 minutes or so?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, about 5 minutes I had it back up, re-looped the chain through, reattached it, got it back on there. So I'm gonna take it easy and try and find out what caused that to happen, but you know, just one of those things, I guess. Take it easy from here on out. Okay, my job right now is to try and very quickly grab a bunch of stuff from in the garage that's trash, make a little pile here, and Melissa and Jason are making a big pile on the front lawn. I'm going to pull around there very soon so we can pick all that up. Okay, got the rooftop carrier in because it's crushed, so I'm not going to hang on to that. But it looks like there's goalie pads, some sports equipment. Yeah, this hockey gear, goalie mask. Being a goalie is one of the most expensive positions to play when you're playing that game because your gear is so pricey. So this mainly looks like it's hockey stuff. Ooh. So we'll try and get that stuff out. Shin pads and all this other stuff. Get the life jackets out, and I can get this carrier loaded up for the dump. Unfortunately, because it's a little too far damaged. I've returned to the house just for a little bit here to do some sorting. I found what I believe is the center caps for the Ford police car, which is good. And there's also a whole pile of Pokemon cards and some hockey cards in this bin. So I'm gonna take this back home to sort through and see, because one good hockey card, like a Connor McDavid rookie or something, could really make this trip worthwhile. The other thing I noticed, I saw this on the side reader. This NextIQ technology thing, this is a fault reader for cars. It's a diagnostic tool. These are incredibly valuable. You know, when you go to a shop and they say there's like $150 diagnostic fee, well, basically they just plug this into your car and it tells them what's wrong. So having that tool can be a big savings. And I think, is the receipt for this here? No, that was for pesticides. I was like, no, there's no way he paid $20 for that. That's a cool thing and very handy if you're working on newer vehicles. So I will bring that back because that'll be handy in the shop. Oh, what do we have here? My sister-in-law is or former sister-in-law, Nikki, is hanging out because I am giving a couple things to these guys. We had a bunch of gym equipment in the basement, and both her son and my son are really into exercise. So the kickboxing sort of gear and the one bench over there, I don't know if he's taking that one or the other, but some of the exercise equipment I'm donating to the Youth of Tomorrow, my niece and my son, so that they have some things to stay healthy and stay fit. And as it turns out, I guess these snowboards that are down here are like really good quality. They're Rossignol, all three of them, plus there's bindings and boots and the whole works. The one board in the middle, I guess it retailed originally for around $800. So even secondhand, those are some good boards. So at least there's a few good things of value still down here. And yeah, continue to do a little exploration and sorting. I really haven't done a whole lot of anything in the basement yet. Was going through some of the Elvis records, and there are some good early Elvis records in the mix, but unfortunately most of this stuff has a little bit of must and mold. It must have got wet at some point. So I don't know if I'll be able to save much of this, unfortunately. You can see there's a little bit of black mold starting on the bottom, which is a shame because, you know, records are fairly collectible. You know, there's Waylon Jennings, lots of country, Fats Domino, Jerry Lee Lewis. So good albums, but you know, I'm going to have to really make sure I have a look and see what kind of shape they're in. Well, this one's still sealed and it's plastic. Canadian Twin Fiddlers, apparently nobody wanted to listen to this. It's still sealed from the 50s. Canadian Square Dances. So, some interesting records, but not in very good shape. The washer and dryer look phenomenal. They're not mine. They're staying with the house. I just checked it to make sure there wasn't anything damp or wet in there, and there wasn't. We found a whole pile of fishing rods over here. Are those the boots for the? Mm-hmm. Those are the boots for the snowboards. Yeah. Are they all there? Are there three or just a pair of two?
Two.
Huh. That's cool. I mean, having those would save you the rental fee at the hill. So lots of interesting stuff. And then random boxes of garbage and stuff too. But we think we also figured out why it smells like gas down here. There is a mild smell. I'm not lighting any matches down here. I can't smell anything. So when I say there's a mild smell coming from this area, that is my sister-in-law, Nikki, told me that. She figures one of these pipes probably has a bit of a leak going on. It's coming, she says it's coming from this area. So I've let the lawyers managing the estate know so they can get somebody over here to check on that, because you don't want to have a gas leak in a house. It's not a good sign. That can't be the furnace. Is that the furnace?
No, this is your furnace. That was the original.
Oh, that's like, that furnace wouldn't do much. That's a tiny little thing. Maybe that was just a little furnace for the basement, like a basement heater, because yeah, that wouldn't push much air at all. It's not the exhaust, it probably vents out. So yeah, you're right. The proper furnace is right behind us. And that seems to have been working fine because the house is toasty warm.
Yeah.
How is the moving of weights going, Aaron?
It's time consuming.
Time consuming? Yeah, I know. But I'm glad it's you and not me today. My back is still recovering from getting that trailer put back on. But lots of good tools down here, a bit more sorting, and every time you haul something out, Aaron, that's good for me. That's one less thing I have to do. So really, you're helping me, which is awesome. Well, I'm back at the house now, and that was a bit of an ordeal with the with the trailer coming off, but we did get all the stuff to the dump. And even though it was a bit of an ordeal, dumping the stuff off at our county dump saved me $400 because they didn't charge me anything. The dumpster would have been $400, so all I had was my fuel and a little bit of stress on the highway. And of course, yes, I was helping offload the trailer. I just stopped to take a picture of Jason and Melissa doing it. But sometimes people watch these clips and they go, "Oh, how come you're not getting your hands dirty?" I did. I only filmed for like a couple of seconds, and I helped offload the rest of it. I'm home now. Garbage is out of the way. Tuesday, we've got the big plan in place to try and get the all the furniture and the stuff we're donating to those folks over to their place. And just made a phone call to my mother-in-law's boyfriend, Charlie, who's going to come by and hopefully pick up the couple engines that are in the garage. I'm just going to give them to him. And got a bike for my nephew set aside up front. So things are going well. But stay tuned for the next episode, guys. I'm going to call it quits for today on this one because I'm tired. I'm beat. Oh, the other update I didn't give you is that we rolled the coins that we found in the house, and there was about $600 in coins in that container because Canada uses $1 and $2 coins. So there was a bunch of those in there. So it can really add up. It's like finding a bucket full of $1 and $2 bills. Anyway, what a busy couple days it's been. All the cars are here except for the Cobalt, which is still frozen in a block of ice. But we're going to persist. So stay tuned for the next episode when we start to get stuff moved over for charity. And then by the end of this series, we'll do the sort of the unveil and show you how clean we were able to get the house and what it looked like. But thanks very much for watching, guys. We'll see you all soon. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, bye for now.